Well, everyone's favorite vice president has said something so ridiculously dumb. I really didn't think it was possible. Um, and I'm not known to be someone who usually critiques or attacks Harris, but this is just cause to criticize her. Vice President Harris said Democrats believed Roe v. Wade to be a settled issue when asked about party lawmakers' failure to codify abortion protections into federal law over the past 50 years. We certainly believe that certain issues are just settled, Harris told CBS News' Robert Costa in an interview that was shown on CBS Evening News with Norah O'Donnell on Friday and will be shown on Face the Nation on Sunday. Harris said the fact that the precedent set by Roe was not settled shows that we are living sadly in real unsettled times. I think all of us share a deep sense of outrage that the Supreme Court took a constitutional right that was recognized, took it from the women of America, she said. We are now looking at a case where the government can interfere in what is one of the most intimate and private decisions that someone can make. Harris said Congress needs to act to pass a law protecting abortion rights on a federal level. She also pointed to the executive order that President Biden signed on Friday to take steps to protect access to abortion. The order, however, is limited in scope, and Biden reiterated on Friday that ultimate control over the issue currently rests with Congress. Right, ultimate control over the issue currently rests with Congress. That's why a group of unelected people were able to decide to overturn this law that had been around for almost 50 years. But yeah, Congress has all the power. Harris also said she did not believe Justices Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, both of whom voted to overturn Roe v. Wade last month, when they said during their confirmation hearings that they consider Roe to be established precedent. Some senators, including Joe Manchin and Susan Collins, said they believed Gorsuch and Kavanaugh would vote to uphold Roe based on their comments during the confirmation process and were alarmed to see them vote to overturn it. So the reason this comment by Harris is really stupid is because it's a very known thing. And to be fair, both sides do this. When there's a law that a sizable portion of people don't like, they don't ever agree with the idea that it's just settled and we shouldn't try to get rid of it. You've had literal decades of Republicans, and including up to now, who say, I'm pro life, don't believe in Roe v. Wade, it should be overturned. You have Republicans who, after 12 years of Obamacare, want to overturn it, want to get rid of it, want to repeal it. And I know they got rid of the individual mandate, but my point is these people, when there's a law that they don't agree with, want to remove it. It doesn't matter how much time passes, it doesn't matter how many people it helps. They're sick of a law, and regardless of this idea you may have, and I'm going to explain why Harris's comment is not really about actually being blindsided, but more so an attempt by these people to win some elections. Biden talked about codifying Roe v. Wade prior to getting elected. That was something that we've been able to prove with the tweets that were shown after the Roe v. Wade overturn, and never did anything relating to it. Now the actual reason that he didn't is because he knows, and we're going to very much clarify this. Historically, the party that is in power, if the president comes in office, they have the House and the Senate. It's been a thing that's recurring theme when they first come in office. Historically, they lose one of those two chambers, usually the House, in their first 2 years. Clinton lost after his first 2 years in the 94 Republican landslide victory, historic rise of return of them where they won the House for the first time in 42 years. Obama lost the House after 2 years in that historic 64 seat flip by the Republicans. The Democrats won the House back in 2018, again, 2 years into Trump's tenure. So Biden is very much looking to have the same thing happen to him. But one of the things that they've been able to do is take Roe v. Wade and this getting overturned. Because we've explained this before, most lawmakers are old and they're never going to need abortion access because they're not having kids. And if they did need access to abortions, they can either fly to some state that actually performs or go to another country where they can get it anyway. these people wanted to use this issue because we knew about this leaked opinion back in, what was that, May? They wanted to use this issue to campaign and fundraise off of it. That's why you saw right after Roe v. Wade got overturned, Pelosi sent people an email. I am very much appalled by this thing that we decided to not protect even when we had majorities in Congress for multiple years. Because these people do not care about things that don't affect them. Settled issue. And this is why I said Harris disgusts me, because all she had to do is just say, you know what? We were trying to pass Build Back Better. We got distracted. We did not fulfill a pledge we made in those first 2 years, or in these first 2 years, and we're going to try to do it now. And if you guys vote for us this time around and give us some more seats, and we don't have to sit here and worry about whether supposed Democratic Senator Manchin, the actual president, is, thinks this is too far. We can do these things, and we can protect the right of women to have abortions whenever they so choose, in whatever state they'd like. That's all she would have to do to convey honesty, to actually give some path forward. Because if I'm a Democratic voter, I might be pissed at the Republicans, and really actually at the Supreme Court, for overturning this law that everybody says is very important. But I would be most upset by the Democrats who, let's be very clear about something, have had control of Congress for 2 years almost. They've had the House for 4 years, and have not done anything to protect or for the cause of codifying Roe v. Wade. Not a single thing on any of their parts. But instead, she sits here and pretends, I can't believe it. They got rid of this thing that they kept saying they wanted to get rid of decade after decade. And again, this is why I can't take these people seriously, because they can never admit culpability. They can never admit, hey, you know what? We didn't do as well of a job as we should have had on this, and it was our mistake. They always can find a way to blame other people and pretend that they're just like bystanders caught up in the Republican attempts to go back to the archaic times of women. It's like, no, you guys were here. You wanted to pass other stuff. And then the Supreme Court that has right-wing justices, because you couldn't get Ginsburg to retire, and you also let McConnell run a fast one over Obama for a year with Merrick Garland. You played right into this because you knew it didn't affect you, and you knew you could fundraise off of people's disgust over this right being taken away after 49 years. So don't let Harris or any other elected Democrat tell you that they were shocked and they were so taken aback. Republicans have been saying they want to get rid of Roe basically since the 70s, since it started. So I'm just always saddened that you have people who actually believe a lot of these politicians. It's very obvious the scam they're running. Even if they get a bigger majority in both the House and Senate, they're not going to pass anything. And even if they eventually do in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, too little, too late. So God, the fact that people believe them is just another example of how humanity, by and large, gives into tricks.